So I recently got a comment on one of my YouTube videos from this woman who was like, I've always wanted to visit New York, but I've been too scared because I don't want to travel there as a single woman. And I decided to make a whole video on this because New York is such an incredible place to see and experience. And if the only thing holding you back from visiting is not feeling safe traveling as a solo woman, I got you. I visited New York 4 times now by myself, and the first time I came here alone, I was 19, so I have some advice. In terms of where to stay, if it's your first time, I probably recommend just staying in a hotel. There are a lot of Airbnbs in New York, but if it's your first time, just staying in a hotel where there's the extra like concierge people and stuff is probably a good idea. Unless you stay at an Airbnb where you're actually staying with the host, which is also common in New York. I've done that once, and it's a great way to meet an actual New Yorker and get like their recommendations on like where to eat and stuff. In terms of location, I think a lot of people automatically just assume to stay in Midtown Manhattan because that's where Times Square is. Literally don't stay in Midtown. NoHo, Soho, Nomad, or the Flatiron District. That's a really like central part of Manhattan that's really accessible to literally anywhere you want to go, and it's also just a really nice area. Also, Chelsea I think is highly underrated, and Hudson Yards. Stay in any of those areas if you're planning to stay in Manhattan, unless you're like a really artsy creative, and in that case you have to stay in the Lower East Side or Queens or Brooklyn. In terms of safety precautions, besides like the normal things to do as a woman, the only thing in New York City is like just stay out of people's way, okay? There's a lot of people in New York that don't know where they're going, including myself sometimes. Like it's everyone. But the thing is, if you're like getting out of the subway and you don't know where you're going, that's fine. Just walk like 10 steps out of the subway and then pull out your Google Maps and figure out where you need to go. Some people will stand directly above the subway stairs or like right in a pedestrian laneway of traffic. Just don't do that, okay? If you stay out of people's way, like you're literally not gonna have a problem in New York. Another thing I'll mention is the trains, because I think that's also the other hot topic of New York City and safety. With the trains, people will be like, don't ride the train after 10 p.m., blah, blah, blah. If, for example, you're staying in Soho and you're worried because you wanna see a Broadway show in Midtown, but it ends at like 10:30 p.m., and then that means you're gonna have to take the train back to Soho at that time, literally you do not need to be worried about that. I promise you the trains in Manhattan that run that line at that time will be absolutely bussin'. There's gonna be a million other people that are doing the exact same thing as you, so that you don't need to worry about, for example. The thing with the trains, a lot of people will be like, don't make eye contact with anyone. What they mean by that is like, don't make eye contact with the people who are obviously